Some pictures from an old job that I'm taking inspiration from.
You know what time it is, guys. We're about to start the job, so it's PPE time. Wear your safety glasses at all times, your earplugs, your respirators. I don't have one with me right now. And I always recommend to get a licensed, insured, experienced tradesman to do the work. I am an amateur, and I make these videos for entertainment purposes only. Hey guys, so it's almost noon, so you know what that time it is. I'm gonna get started. It means I'll be working late as per normal. So here we'll be installing the outlets. My mom put an extension bar here because I think she's like indirectly saying, hey, install those damn flippin' bloody you know what outlets. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll get to it. So it's like 2 weeks later, so it's enough time to simmer. And then we're gonna install these right in the center. As I've been saying, well, I actually don't know about this. I've gone to Home Depot 3 or 4 times now, got the board out for it to be cut, and then nobody comes to the saw. So I wait like 15 minutes, and then I walk away, because I'm not gonna sit there for an hour. So Home Depot can get their stuff done, because Home Depot employees don't really do their jobs? I don't know what they're doing. And yes, I do have people paging, but doesn't matter. So we are going to install the outlets today. For the outlets for here, right in the center, and then outlets for here, which doesn't really matter. And then I'll be putting the insulation in there. The big barrier just there to kind of keep the debris and dust down. Then I'll be mudding all this here. And then this part of the, oh yeah, I have to move the power for the stove, so I'm moving that over. Not really a big deal, just flip the breakers, make sure you work with the power off. And I'll definitely be working with the power off. I don't typically do that with a stove. I definitely will be, because that's 220, that's dual phase. Whereas 110 is split phase. And you can kind of get away with it. I do never recommend it, but I am not as smart as most people. So, we are gonna get to work. Oh, and as a bonus video today, I have a friend flying over my house with his drone. So that'll be fun. Okay, so you probably really can't see it too well. I wonder if the light will flashlight will turn on. Probably not. I'll turn it on manually. Okay, so if you look down here, you'll see the hole for the 220 power. That's 110. That's 110. So split phase, and you see where the wire is there. So it's now 1.5 feet over, and that was a tight fit. So if we go over here, just ignore the nasty plumbing that I still gotta fix. I had it run a new come through here, so that's where the 220 wire is for the stove. And right up in here is where I pushed it up through the, well, my ceiling, but the floor. That was tough. So I moved it over. Now I just gotta pull it up right here. let the camera adjust the focus. And I moved the box over. I put it in center with the microwave coming down. And now we just kind of plumb it all in with the electrical. And then the other next electrical that I'm going to be doing will be the outlet here. And then the fridge outlet over there. So now the 220 is run, and this is exactly the way it was. I marked everything before I took it all apart and then put it all back together exactly the same way. Always get someone to do this who is professional, licensed, and insured, like experienced, so you don't have to worry about anything bad happening. But I got it done. I'm gonna throw the drywall next after I do the outlets, and then my kitchen is that much more forward, like that much more ahead. It's kind of exciting. Okay guys, so I got the central vac running. It's only going to here, and then I've put it in, taken it out, put it in, taken it out. The cabinet over there has the cutout for it. I've tested everything, and then the other part of it, I ran the power, and I switched this over twice. So now it's out of the way, and then I have the power for the refrigerator right there, its own line. And then lastly, I have the low voltage plus the high voltage depending on what kind of under-counter lighting I want. So all that together, now I just have to insulate, and then vapor barrier, and then drywall. There's my mom. So this is what it looks like underneath. There's the power for the outlets, and then there's the hose. This is the low power coming through for the central vac. And then there's the line that's going to pop down. That's why I put the pipe chain around there. So I'm going to then cut all this and put it all together. Test fitted it before I glue. That's where the power is for the fridge. And then the other part of this is I took down this nonsense. Running all these lines here. I'm going to clean this up later, not worried about that. The AC line is run. And after 6 years of living here, I finally have the AC line run through the joists. Now, I'm going to brace these joists up because there's enough weakness there. The other part of this is, I think the guy who drilled all these holes must have been like 4 foot or something, because they're all on a very, very odd angle, not straight on. So it wasn't very nice, but you know how construction is, they don't really care. Runs down in here, and it's hooked in to the power panel, like properly. Well, as good as I can get it. Again, I'm not a certified electrician. I don't claim to be. I don't know the codes. I just can put it together. So don't do as I do. Get a licensed professional to do it. But it's kind of looking like an electrical panel now. Now there's a few random wires around. I'm going to clean up those eventually. But so far, it's looking pretty spot on. Now I did make some space in the panel. This is for the shed power. We're going to put 220 to the shed and then split phase it. When I say split phase, I'm going to split it up to 110 for the one for the lights on the outside, and then one for the power on the inside. And then again, I'm going to have 220 going to the shed for like a welder or a big compressor, something like that. And that's about it. So we're gonna get back to work.
So this weekend, I was fortunate to have 2 friends come by. Cody came by with his drone, and my best friend Melissa came by to help out and get things going. finished with doing the outlet. Obviously last night I did the fridge outlet, as you guys know. The fridge looks kind of tiny, which is funny because I actually shortened everything down by adding the 1.5 inches for the spacer. I only needed about a 1/2 inch for the doors, but I wanted the full thing, so I want to put some trim up there afterwards. And this is all going to be painted white. And again, did the drywall. I did all the insulation yesterday. You've already seen it all in the video and everything. I added some low voltage wiring because I'm not sure if for the under counter lighting if I'm going to have them together, because they can work on separate systems or all together as one. I'm kind of leaning towards all together as one, but if I want to change it down the road, I have the high voltage, as you can see right here, fully installed the cabinet. Tomorrow the pull-outs come in, so I'll be able to put all those in. I have a 14.5 there, a 14.5 there, which then leaves about 9 inches right about here. So there's gonna be 3 of them all in a row, so that'll be fun. And then on to top it all off, I finished the house central vacuum install. So that was fun. So you've seen this area many times. This is where the central vac comes down here. I had to plan all this out, and I test everything when I do all this. So I dry fit everything as always, and I check the angles. Now I don't have anything marked. Typically I don't, but if you were to, you can mark the angles right here. Now this is all 2-inch piping, so you can see where they're lining up. And everything pretty well lines up perfectly, as you can see. So again, I test fit everything, then I start to glue the stuff that I know is going to be permanent, and then I assemble it, as in I see which one fits in which place. So for this particular install, I put this one in place, and then I tried to put this one in place, and it only worked if I started with this one and then put this one on and then pulled it into that pipe there where everything all lined up. And now I did this while the glue was still wet, so that allowed me to accomplish without having to fight with anything. Because sometimes when you glue stuff up, it kind of doesn't quite fit properly. And again, I used all the lines, the piping, to make sure that it came out perfect. So the kitchen is coming along quite nicely. There's a few more modifications I want to do to it before I start closing things up on the backside. So in the washroom, it is still open there. I'm going to leave it open. I want to put another outlet where I'm going to have a sound bar for the bathroom itself. And I got to close up down there. I might do that later today. And then one of the other things I got to do is my cold air return is going to be underneath this cabinet. Now, the problem I have is that it is over here, and I don't want it over there, because we're going to have a bunch of stools and stuff. That's a bunch of nonsense. So it's all coming together, and I'm pretty happy with it, piece by piece, little by little. So thanks for watching the nonsense journey that this is, and maybe you might have learned something, maybe not. I definitely have enjoyed doing this for myself for once, and keeping mindful of the budget and everything. So yeah, pretty happy with it.